What's up, everybody? It's your boy Doug Q, and I'm welcoming you to another episode of Between the Lines Podcast. You already know what time it is, man. Let's get on into it.
Hey, Q!
Is AR-15 that guy? Is he the guy that could lead the Carolina Panthers to the promised land? Without further ado, you already seen it. You know what time it is. The Carolina Panthers have named and selected their head coach, which is now Frank Rich, formerly of the Indianapolis Colts. Rich is a guy that's offensively based. He is a strong-minded offensive guy. And when I'm telling you he can draw the X's and O's for this offense, for the first time in a long time, the Carolina Panthers will have a proven offensive winner who's won Super Bowls with Philly. He was taking a guy like Nick Foles and molded him into what you saw as a offensive threat. So can he do the same with Anthony Richardson from Florida University, the University of Florida? I'm sorry. I'll say this. This guy has all the intangibles. He has all of the mixes and the meshes that you could mix together to make one good quarterback. Now the problem is yes, he is a freak of nature. He is one of the fastest quarterbacks we've seen in all of football. He also has some of the best footwork when it comes to running and getting away and being elusive. Not so much in the pocket, though. His footwork in the pocket is not, is not beautiful, nor is it up to an NFL level. But they said the same thing about Lamar Jackson. They said the same thing about a bevy of quarterbacks, the Tim Tebows of the world. This guy can get out here and he can throw it with the best. I saw some of the passes that he was making in Florida, and I just watched him needle some of those balls right on in. And I said to myself, now we got Frank Rich. We know who's the quarterback. We know who the coach. Can we pick a quarterback? If CJ Stroud is off the board, if Bryce Young is no longer there, and if Will Levis is also gone, can we move forward with Anthony Richardson and be happy? I believe the answer is yes. To me, the answer is yes. He gives me Cam Newton vibes every time I look at him because he has everything that I've seen. And Cam Newton, make no doubt about it, was a superstar at the highest levels. This guy has the same skill set of Cam Newton as well as the same throwing ability of Cam Newton. All I say that is with him coming in, please surround him with weapons. Please ensure that you give him everything virtually possible for him to go out there and win and cater to this guy all day long, because that's something that we did not do for Cam Newton and we ended up regretting it later on down the line. So this offensive line has been rebuilt, and I think he would look great behind it. We just need to go out and make sure that we get him a weapon at running back as well as tight end, because a guy like this needs a bevy of weapons to come out here to be able to throw the ball to, as well as you have DJ Moore. Now get this guy another receiver. To me, Terrence Marshall Jr. is really a 3 disguised as a 2. So go out there and get an actual true number 2 or a true number 1. And you could also push more down to number 2. But with that being said, let's get on into it, man. You see it right here. His stats, they don't jump off the screen for you. He was 65th in passing yards totally, with 2,500 yards basically. 17 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. I know that's not a wowzers, but you got to understand 17 touchdowns compared to some of those guys that we showed you. Like, I think CJ Stroud had 40 touchdowns to like 6 interceptions. That's why a lot of people say that he's the elite of the elite. And a guy like Anthony Richardson is a step down or a tier down. But who knows, with great coaching from a great and brilliant offensive mind, can they get those numbers to go up? Can you get him to pass the rock more? Because you're talking about a mobile quarterback who's basically is a run-first guy. Can you turn him into a guy that could be a dual threat that knows when to run and also have the time to be able to pass that rock around? Look, you just got to give this guy weapons and get out of his way. He has a 71 quarterback rating. It's not the best. Like I said, it's all pedestrian at best. But what you want to look at is his competition in his games that he played. And I was looking at some of his games, and it didn't wow me at all. I think a lot more people will be impressed more or less with what he has to offer physically versus everything else that comes to the table with him. Because, like I said, physically he's a freak of nature, but he's also a guy like Vanderbilt. He had 400 yards. The problem was his completion percentage was only 59%. I mean, but looks like he is from that Cam Newton mold when it comes to completion percentage. He can only completes barely half of his passes. And as for a career, as you see right here, and allow me to zoom in. As you see right here, he's only 53.8. 53.8 for a career from this last past season is not the best at all. But I mean, make no mistake about it. You can take this guy, plug him in, and then with Frank Rich and then a bevy of weapons around him, he could be a guy that you can come in and make some noise with. I mean, DJ Moore, let's be real. DJ Moore still hasn't seen a quarterback of this caliber. So, I mean, Sam Darnold, he's better than Sam Darnold. He's better than PJ Walker. Like I say, his numbers don't jump off the screen right there immediately. I mean, some games he had, and it looks like he teeters around 160 to 200 yards in every game. And he'll give you, look like he didn't throw any more than 3 touchdowns. So, like I said, he's not going to be a world beater when it comes to passing, because you look at the competition, Florida State, he had probably one of his worst games with completion percentage, 9 of 27. So, like I said, for me, he's a valuable starter, but as far as a franchise quarterback, you would want better, but you can hope that a guy could be coached to be better, because the numbers that I'm looking at right now do not wow me at all. I mean, to me, they're pedestrian at best. And to me, it takes a lot more work, and he has to be dedicated and willing to put in that work to be better. And hopefully with a coach like Frank Rich, he'll stay on him. He'll make sure that he doesn't go out there and be a turnover machine, and he can learn NFL defenses from this guy to become even better. So the future is bright if we were to take a guy like this. Like I'm telling you guys right now, it's not the end of the world. It's a coachable moment because you get to really see Frank Rich. If he did it with Nick Foles, who was at the end of his career and basically a backup, he can do it with anybody. So never say never, guys. I'm not that high on Frank Rich as the new head coach, but I'll say this: the guy has talent when it comes to drawing those X's and O's. So, with that being said, I give credit where credit is due. He is a great and phenomenal offensive-minded coach. At 61 years old, you should have learned something from him. So, that's all I got on this. AR-15, is he that guy? Can he come in and be for the Carolina Panthers where we think he could be? There's a strong possibility that he can do that and accomplish that. And I'm willing to see, if we were to draft him on draft night, I wouldn't be mad. It's an experiment that we can. This has been your boy Dub Q, and we're going to get on into it, man. I got some more stuff coming for you guys.